All right. Welcome to Passive Income 101. We're going to talk a little bit about the cash flow quadrant, and then we'll talk about investors, which is one aspect of the cash flow quadrant. You guys know about Robert Kiyosaki, right? He wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then a few years later, he wrote another book called Cash Flow Quadrant. And then he created a game. And I love playing the game. It's super great. You guys should play it every weekend, because it kind of brings stuff into your brain of opportunities. And that's actually what I want to talk about today is opportunities. I need to explain the cash flow quadrant first. This is the most important thing. As you each one of these sections, you pay less taxes. And you also, by the way, make more income. So it's a kind of a double whammy. This one here as employees, double whammy, you get to pay more taxes and you also get to make less income. So it's a double whammy in reverse. But on the opposite end, on this end over here, in an under investor, you get to double whammy, get to pay less taxes, woohoo, and you make way more income in addition to that. Here on the left side, employees, it's a linear job. Like you work an hour, you get paid for an hour. In this quadrant, you pay the most taxes. Okay, so there you go. You pay the most taxes, and you make the least amount of income too. So it kind of sucks. But so to me, people tend to migrate down into the next logical step, which is self-employed. If I want it done right, I do it myself. Okay, and that's great. And they do make some really good money. But small businesses, here's the problem with a small business: if you don't work that day, you don't get paid. You could have employees and stuff working for you and stuff, but really, if you're not out there hustling, you take too much time off, things tend to slide away. So you're still kind of getting paid time for dollars, or time for contracts. You're getting paid that way. It's still kind of linear. Okay. The next logical step is kind of big business model. And so if you're buying into a business like that, you're buying a system is what you're buying. Okay. For example, like McDonald's, it has a cookie cutter. You buy a McDonald's, it costs, billions of dollars for you. I mean, but they give you all of the instructions that you need to how to run the business. And that system then generates you income. You've heard of the adage, I would sooner have the 1% effort of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. This is the concept behind businesses. You have people that are working for you. You have a system that's in place. And you may only get 1% of 100 people's efforts, but 1% of 100 people's efforts is way better than 100% of your own efforts. The nice thing about this is you can if you have to walk away for a day or do a week, a month, a year, whatever, it doesn't matter. It still pays you, and which is really, really nice. In the regular corporate world, you can be a shareholder or be on the board and stuff like that, and they pays you dividends. This brings me down to the most important section, which is called investor. So let's talk about investor and why this is like super cool and really good. Okay, let's open up compound interest. So just so you guys are aware, like you can go to any compound interest calculator you want to do. And like it doesn't matter. There's lots of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a real calculator so that you guys know that I'm not lying to you. Numbers don't lie. This is really important. Okay, so listen up. Investing is the best way to make money because you are in control. Yes, there's elements that you can't control. You're the one and you get your money working for you. So this is an important rule to know. Okay, the rule of 72. 72 divided by the interest rate gives you the interval at which something will compound. Okay. So, for example, here in Canada, sometimes we get 2% interest rate a year. Okay. So, if we divide 72 by 2, it tells us it'll take 36 years to double. Now, that's super good. It's the best interest in the world. Yeah, no, it's not. That's not great. When I talk about investing, I mean where you're actually making some income. 72, of course, divided if you want to do 1%, of course, is 72. I'll just show you that it's true. We work with a company here called BG, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. We get an interest rate from about 1.2 to 1.4% a day. So I'll just go with the lowest number, just so you don't get all excited on me. Okay. So 1.2 equals 60 days because you're receiving interest every single day. Now, here on the compound calculator, let's take this calculator off and we'll leave that there so you can come back and reference it. Okay. I'm just going to bring another one on in just a second here. 72 divided by 1.8. I'll tell you why in a second. Okay. By 1.8. gives us 40 days. Okay. So we'll just put that over there. Now, in here, now let's play with these numbers just a little bit. Okay. So this is a compound calculator. You can go on compound calculators anywhere in the world. There's lots and lots of different ones. So I'm not lying to you. Just go pick out your own. Doesn't matter. And so today is the 2nd of February. And what we're going to do is pretend that we're putting in $1,000 and at 1.2%. Okay. And we'll just let it run for a year as an example. Okay. So we're also going to include weekends because the interest works on the weekends as well. And for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to compound everything back in. So that's 100% right here. Okay. And we're not going to add any contributions. We're simply going to do $1,000 one time just for fun, just to see what it does. So now we're going to hit calculate. Now I'm going to quickly pass that number because I don't want you to see it yet. Okay. But I want you to see how it works. Okay. Now, the way compound interest works is, for example, so on day one, you put $1,000 in, and the next day you received $12. Now, the next day you put in, you just let it run and it continues to compound. So that's where 1,012 comes out. So your interest is now on the 1,012. The interest is now on 1,000 and adding the 1214 to it. Okay, so every single day you're making a little bit more, making a little bit more, making a little bit more. Okay, as we go down. Now, just to prove, so 1.2% is 60 days. Okay, so mathematically you'll see that it adds up. So if we just slide down just a little bit more every single day, you're adding a little bit more. $14 here. Now it's up to $15, and it just seems to plunk, 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 plunk. Away you go. Okay, now let's slide down to 60 because we're 60 days is 1.2%. Okay, so here we go. Right here. Boom. There we are. It became $2,000 on that day. Okay. So mathematically, I am correct because every single day it just adds a little bit more, adds a little bit more, adds a little bit more. And it's compounding itself. And so, $23, you're making 60 days out per day, as opposed to $11, the first day, well, $12 the first day. Okay. But that's how compounding works. So now that you know that I'm telling you the truth, let's play with some numbers. If you go all the way down to the bottom in a year, okay, look at this, okay, $77,000 compound interest, 1.2% per day, approximately, okay, means you're making almost $1,000 a day. Now, who would not be able to, run their household on $1,000 a day? Please stick up your hand. Okay. But notice that the last few days is where you're making the most. That's because, again, it's compounding itself. So let's play with the numbers again, just a little bit. And let's go all the way back up to the top. I wish there was a way I could just simply say home. So that's the 77,000 that I want. Okay. Now let's say that let's just say that you decide that you're going to only reinvest 50% of it. Now, the reason why I think this is a good idea is because that which you withdraw is that which you've earned. This is really important. I'm going to repeat that. That which you withdraw is that which you've earned. Anything on something, anything out there where you've got funds running for you, it's theoretical until you withdraw it. Then it's yours. Then you've earned it. Until that point, it's theoretical and it could go away. So let's pretend that we do 50%, 50% withdrawal, calculate, okay? And it gives you $16,000 at the end. You've re-added, because you're compounding, $8,000 and you've received $7,000, okay? And so it looks like this, okay? So the first day, 6 and 6. Okay, 6 and 4, and it continues on down because you're putting 50% back in and you're pulling out 50%. It means you're pulling out 50% and you're still making a pretty good income at the end of the year. You've made $16,000. Here, let's just slide all the way down to the bottom of the year and you're making $50 a day. That's pretty good. That's pretty nice. Okay. So now I want to tell you why it is that I brought up 1.8%. Why did I bring up 1.8%? The reason why I brought up 1.8% is because I work with a company, it's called BG, and they trade for us every single day. What we do is we receive a code and we simply put it into our account and we trade. It works out to be at 0.6% per trade, basically, plus or minus. And so this is why it's important is it has a third trade that they offer. Okay, so this is the reason why the third trade is so important. On our compound calculator, we were starting with $1,000. And if I put it to 1.8%, which is if you have three trades, it's 0.6 plus 0.6 plus 0.6 makes 1.8. Okay, so a minimum of 1.8 and averaging. Okay, so you've got 1.8% a day that you're making on $1,000. And we go through and we have the same set for 1 year. Okay, including weekends. We're going to invest all of it just for fun, just so you can see how that works and to calculate. Now, anybody want to guess as to what that number is? Yeah, $672,000 on three trades a day. This is significant. You want to get to three trades a day as soon as you possibly can, because three trades a day, you start off by making $18 a day. 1832, $20, $25. Okay, it grows as it goes, just like the other two trades a day. But and by the way, remember it at three trades a day, it'll then compound, it'll double after 40 days. Remember, so you started with $1,000, and now after 40 days, it's now $2,000. So that means it's shortening the time. This is why it increases so much. So let's go down to the bottom of the year and have a look at how much you are making at three trades a day. Okay, so three trades a day, you're making $11,000 a day. Now you tell me, do you think that $11,000 a day is something that you can live off of? Since it is, let's go back up and actually only reinvest half of it. Okay, so here's half, because that's what I'm trying to be real with you, so that you need to be taking funds out. You take funds out, grow your account, grow your wallet, pay your bills, and take the other half and still compound. So we're going to recalculate that using 50% with three trades a day, and you're making $51,000 a year. You've taken out $25,000. That's super great. And if we go down to the bottom of the year, it means you're making $234 a day. $234 a day is really nice. Like, you don't have to put it in 50%. You don't have to recompound it all. You don't have to. But if you choose to, then you're withdrawing $300 a day. That's pretty good. And that's simply by having your trading. And so you've got three trades. Okay. I will explain how you can earn your third trade at this point in time. All right. So now we have a brief understanding of how compounding works and why it's important to have compounding and why it's important to have three signals. Let me tell you a little bit about the company and how it works and where it comes from and how we get our signals and why and how to get our third signal. Okay. So the name of the company is called BG Wealth Sharing Group. And they have a team of traders that work for them, and they come up with the signal. So there's one aspect is BG, and another aspect is the DSJ, which is our broker, and our funds are with our broker, who can withdraw them anytime we want, and they are that's where we grow our funds. And so we have a stable income as a result of this trading that we are doing. Okay, so we as investors, we make money as a result of the trades. Okay, and we share that money 40%. 60% goes to us, the trade, for every trade that occurs, and the other 40% goes to the BG for their service of providing a trading signal. And the way DSJ makes their funds is simply on the withdrawal. Now, other brokers, they will make their funds when you deposit, or they will give you a charge when you make a trade, or they'll give you a charge when you receive the trade. Okay, so there's lots of different ways of how a broker will make its money. This one, it makes its money simply by when you withdraw. It's 12%. Okay, and so that's great. We know exactly where the funds are going, what's going on. And when I want to withdraw my $1,000, I just withdraw $1,138, and they receive the 138, and I receive the 1,000. So it works out pretty good. Okay, so it's a win-win situation between all three companies, because BG is providing the signal, and that's how they get paid, is by 40% of the trade when we win it, and we receive the other 60%. And then at the end of the day, when you want to withdraw, the DSJ gets their 12% as well. Okay. We have an advantage of being in a system like this is not only is it so we receive a signal, and we receive that signal twice a day, except for when you qualify for your third signal. Okay. And the signal, all it does is it slaves your account to the master account. And so it's just that one time, it slaves it to the master account. And so when they take the trade, they take 1% of the account, and then they trade, and you make about 1.2% on that trade. And the advantage of doing that is that at the same time, it's as if we all have a massive account. And so that helps because we're sharing that account together at the same time. And it helps in the trading process. Okay. And so the more people that we have working with us, the bigger our collective shared account becomes, because it's traded, even though my account is slave to, I'm in control of my money and you're in control of your money. But at the time of the trade, it's slave to. And so all of the trades, it occurs as one trade all at once. And so it's very beneficial for all of us in that aspect. Okay. You go, well, they get a 90% 99% average. Why is that? Well, they're really good traders. Okay. When I trade, I get about an 80% average. Okay. But these guys are really good. Okay. But what happens if the trade fails? There is a setup stage process if the trade fails. And normally they take 1% of your account. If the trade fails, they recover the costs, they recoup the loss, and then the trade. And so they trade 3% of the next time. Now, I've never ever seen it go past phase 2. Okay. On December 9th, just a couple of weeks ago, first time I'd seen it fail on the first trade. And what they do is they just send a second trade out about half hour later. Okay. And so that's really cool, is that they're committed to making money. They're committed to helping us making money, and we're committed to making money as well. And so it's a win-win situation between all of these parties, between the broker and BG, the company that's providing the signal, and us. It's a win-win situation for all of us. All right. This company has lots of advantages. Okay. So they have all of their certifications. You go to the government and you can go onto their webpage and you can access the certifications that we have. Okay. So this is really great. You can verify all that. You can go to the government, you go to the US government and check, and you can see that they have their certifications. And that's really important. They've been trading for 3 years. Okay. So we've got a 10-year contract with DSJ, and that 10-year contract, we're 3 years into the contract. Well, it's starting the 4th year at this point, but we've got 3 years in the contract, so we've got another 7 to go. And some people go, well, what are you going to do after the contract expires? That's easy. Either we renew the contract or we get another contract with another broker. It's simple, and off we go. Okay. So it's not a problem. And now just think about it. So you can deposit whatever you want, but let's say you deposit $1,000 in a year, you're making $1,000 a day. That's really nice. If you decide to deposit more than that, it means you grow faster. Okay. So there's a sweet spot of where you'll want to withdraw and keep growing your account. But here's some advantages of us having this system. Okay. Is not only do you get paid for trading. Okay. So I'm now going to talk a little bit of the marketing side of this company. So this is the great thing. I like what I'm doing. It's great. I'm trading, and my friend may like it as well. Hey, friend, do you like this? Yeah, I'm interested. Okay. You deposit some funds and you start trading well. I'll teach you how to do it. Okay. Now, when they deposit funds, let's use $1,000 as an example. I make $100. That's for my effort because I'm teaching. Okay. This is what I'm doing. And he makes $50 as a welcome package. Welcome to the trade. But not only that, what's really cool is he gets an additional 6 trades in the next 2 days to help his account. Since I invited him, get an additional 8 trades over the next 2 days to help my account. And so it becomes worthwhile for me to help out, to help teach, to help educate, and to show him, my friend, how to do it. And he can make money. It just takes 5 minutes. Trade. Off you go, and you're done. Takes 5 minutes. Okay. And so who wouldn't want to make some money as a result of this? I'm telling you, I'm inviting you, come join me because you can be part of this team. And now let's get down to the third signal. Okay. The third signal, the reason why it's important is because you are able to when you have 5 people on your front line and each one of them have 5 people, then you get your third signal. Okay. And I'm telling you, the third signal, we've already looked at this, is really important to get. You want to get the third signal. That's what I'm telling you is people that join my team, they just get put into the matrix and as people join my team, they put into the matrix. And so my goal is not only do I want to have a third signal, but I want you to have a third signal as well. If that's your goal, if you want a third signal, then yes, let's work together and get you a third signal. And you will simply have people joining your team as a result of the fact that I want to have this and I'm growing it. Okay. And so take action. You understand what's going on. You can go look at the certs if you want. There's lots of videos out there showing what the certs are, and I just show them as well. But the third signal, that's the key because that's where you make where you make lots of money, and I've already shown that to you. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was when you become a manager. So to become a manager, level 1, you get 5 people direct to you. Okay. When you have 2 of those people with 5 of their directs, you become a level 2. But to get your third signal, you need to have all 5 of your directs with them each having 5 directs as well. But this is important. As a manager, you receive a dividend every 10 days. As a level 1, you receive $30 every 10 days with $100 one-time rank up. Okay. With one time. And as a level 2, you get $150 every 10 days with a $300 bonus one time. As a level 3, you get $500 bonus dividends every 10 days with an $800 bonus. And a level 4, you get $1,200 every 10 days and $2,000 one-time bonus. And as a level 5, you get $2,400 every 10 days and $5,000. Now, this is important to know. You will not only be having the third trading signal at this point in time, but you also have enough people on your team that you get to have a salary every 10 days from the company as a dividend. And that makes it big business because now you're getting 1% of effort of 100 people as opposed to 100% effort of your own. And that's powerful. This whole system is set up so that you have the ability to grow. So I'd encourage you, take action. If you don't take action, you're actually losing money because, hey, just so you know, 3.5% inflation a year. I can go through the numbers if you want me to, but that's a lot of inflation. And that's a lot of money running out of your pocket that you're working for hours for, having to work harder for, to be able to compensate for. Doing this adds something to your pocket in the reverse. You guys have a great day.